What's up, Brendan?
How we doing?
Good, man. It is me and you, mano a mano tonight. Gloves off, no kid gloves. We're going in for just straight man to man talk here tonight. And I have to ask you, just turn it over to you, man. Saturday night, uh, what was that like to add to your college resume? When you look back on this whole thing one day, that one's going to stand out. And how excited are you to have something like that and the experience, with the fans, everything? How would you just describe that experience? And is it something that you'll carry with you for a while?
Yeah, Saturday was a dream. You go through a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, and a lot of workouts, early mornings, and a lot of sacrifice for the feeling that Saturday brought for a lot of people. So definitely blessed to have it go the way it did. Um, it was just insane. I told the guys this morning I don't think I'm really gonna understand what happened or how it happened and the significance of it for time to come. But just trying to continue to soak it in and watch all the videos and stuff. It's just surreal.
So I thought the offensive line dominated. Absolutely dominated. We saw the Moses maneuver several times. JB had all day in the pocket. What was it about that style? Or just how well were you guys prepared? And did you guys actually play well, or is that just me seeing things?
Well, going into the game, we knew that coach had a great game plan. There's certain weeks throughout the year and throughout my career where you just have a different feeling going into the game, and you kind of you have a different feeling, but you kind of want to see how the team reacts and how the game goes before you admit that you have that feeling. Um, but a lot of people knew this was a great game plan going into this game. We kept it simple, it was effective, and we knew we played to our advantages on a lot of matchups. So um, we were able to give JB a lot of time. He did incredible. Super happy for him, and just we see that all the time. We believe in him so much, so to see him do what he did was awesome. Give him the confidence for the rest of the season to lead us, and yeah, the O line did play pretty well. Anytime you rush for 300 yards, it's a good day. So
Yeah, I wanted to get to that. Like, there's so many guys in this program who don't get the constant nod or the reps or the plays. And two of those on the screen right there, Noah Frith and Jonathan Bennett, both played huge in the biggest game of the year so far. They're not guys who are front and center every week. I mean, JB is going back and forth, and we all know his story. But Noah also is one of those that's kind of just been lurking for a while. Four receptions, 70 yards, huge receptions. I mean the one at the beginning of the game. Um, so, anyways, just talk about what is it like for those guys who are just kind of, I don't know if in the background is the right term, but somebody who's not running with the ones all the time or not getting the play count that maybe they think they deserve, but for them to keep working and then to have that experience on Saturday where they were key contributors in one of the biggest wins in school history, if not actually the biggest.
yeah, those guys are so mentally tough having to deal with situations, and it's different for everyone. Um, I know for some of them, they've been dealing with nagging injuries their whole career, and they just battle and find a way to go out there on Saturdays. And sometimes it's not what they want, sometimes it is. So, whether it's injuries or playing time or just all the factors that go in, those guys are mentally tough, and that win is super special for them too because there's so much sacrifice across the board. It's different for everyone, and um, you can't win games without guys like that. You can't have a winning team. You can't have a good culture without guys like that. So um, they're the bricks that we build our team around. There's no doubt about that.
So, talk to me about rushing the field. What was your experience like? I saw a few photos of you in particular. Looked like you were pretty overjoyed. What was that whole experience like? Just being down there. I know you've had a lot of like post game celebrations. You guys have a party in the locker room every time you win. It seems like. But what was it like to invite, or uninvite? It felt like maybe 5,000 couple thousand students down on the field and just kind of celebrating in that way. It looked really fun. I didn't get down in the mess, but how did you enjoy that personally?
I was just focused on soaking the moment in. There's those students and the fans that rush the field. I mean, they were incredible the whole game. That was the loudest and the most engaged crowd I've seen at that stadium, and it made it so much fun to play in. So to be able to spend that moment with them was awesome, and just soak in how far we've come and the moment that just happened. With Doc's vision and everything, it was wild. But I'm not going to debate whether it was right or wrong they rushed it, but it was fun.
Yeah. All right, two more here, and that is the first one is about Doc's vision. You mentioned it there. I thought personally that Coach Freeze did a great job all week talking about it, bringing it to light. I mean, he actually enlightened a lot of fans on it, just to kind of like bring it to light and not really let it die, kind of thing. As a player. Do you feel like you guys had a good grasp on what that is? I know none of you guys were there to see his comments and to kind of see him talk about that all the time. But at the same time, you guys got a heavy dose of it last week, which I thought was pretty cool. And do you feel like you had a have a kind of a grasp on what you accomplished on Saturday?
For sure. We're showing videos all the time of Doc's speeches and all the things that he said that this school was going to be. And for the last, I'm in season 5 here. For the last 5 seasons, I've seen those videos. I've heard the people talk. We got people in our building. Our chaplain was here when he said that. So Ed Gomes. So to talk with people that got to see that, and I definitely feel like we had a good grasp on, the moment and what it meant just from all that, and it was really cool talking with there was old football players from the 70s and the 80s that were just on the field, hugging us and crying, and to have that moment with them, that also was a special part too, because we wanted to make sure that they know that this doesn't happen without them too. So there was a lot of people that came before us, and to be able to have that moment and have that come to fruition was just special.
Let me tell you when I knew that you were locked in and you were focused is when we were up by, I believe, 20, 14 minutes left, and the crowd started doing an LU chant whenever we were on offense. And you were the first person to tell everybody to be quiet. I was like, oh, like I don't know if that was a good move on your part or a great move on your part. They seemed to listen and quiet down, but for you to be locked in, like it had to have felt so awesome. Like you said, I saw you smiling huge there when you were talking about the crowd, just being engaged, loud, 4 quarters, both sides of the stadium, students, alum, everybody was into it. I mean, I'm talking like on your feet, like third down, screaming. It was insane to be a part of. But I knew you were locked in whenever you were telling everybody to be quiet on offense. What was that? And why, like, I mean, we all know why you did it, but what was it in that moment where you like, I can't believe I'm having to tell these people to be quiet?
Yeah. So this was the first game we went with the verbal cadence. Reasons I won't mention, but we went with the verbal cadence. So the quarterback verbally says something, and we hike the ball. So it's not, you don't know how loud it's going to be. And don't get me wrong, that crowd was incredible. As I said before, they were in it the whole game. They were insane. Made it an incredible atmosphere. But with it being, second or third down, we're trying to put the game away. I don't want something to happen with the center, not hearing something or somebody hearing something that's not right. And I'll take the bullet so we don't have a bad play there. But I was trying to, so we could hear everything. But once the plays are made, get as loud as possible. But we're just trying to make sure there's no issues in the operation with the snap there.
All right. So this segment is brought to you by RTR. They are an oil distribution company in Hinton, West Virginia. Greg Rogers, an alumni of LU, good friend of mine, family friend for a long time, actually. Um, you know, from back in the day, my grandparents, everybody knew Greg, and he gets oil to all the hard deliver places. We're coming up on the winter months where people heat their houses with oil there in West Virginia. They actually deliver to 6 states. So, Greg, shout out. Thank you for all you've done for this segment and Liberty Athletics continuing to support. And I hope you guys have a good winter. And we will be checking in next time. All right, Brendan, that is it. Final thoughts here from you. Anything you have to say to the fans that are watching tonight?
Uh, just thankful for where we're at in the season so far. The support's been incredible. Um, being at 7-1, we're playing for a lot now. This is a big game coming up, and we're not taking this bye week lightly. We've been watching film. We've been, working on the Razorbacks. So hoping to put a good plan together and do what we can there. So just thankful for them.